Hey everybody, it's Jeremy and today I'm going to be reviewing Morning Musume's brand new single, Pyoco Pyoco Ultra. I'm going to start out by talking about the actual song. Now I had a few people ask me what I thought about it, and now that I've had some time to really process through it and really hear it enough times, I am going to say that it reminds me of the old Morning Musume days, right around the time that the 4th and 5th generation were brand new, where the songs were becoming more toned towards childlike sounds, but still carried a sense of coolness somehow. That being said, it reminds me a lot of Hyoko to Tanjima, where the song was very geared towards the 4th and the 5th generation while still featuring the adult members. Likewise, the video was tailored towards the young generation while still holding that feeling of Hyoko to Tanjima, where all of the Morning Musume girls were dressed as pirates. As far as the music is concerned, my main complaint in my initial impressions video was resolved. With the radio rip, the song was pitchy and it was loud and it hurt my ears, but I'm glad to hear that that was just because of the radio and not because that's how the actual single sounded. The single sounded much cleaner than the radio rip, which is expected, but in the past radio rips have sounded better. I think it's just because the song goes up and down so much as far as the background music that it just became way too pitchy to hear on the radio. Next I want to talk about the members individually. Gaki I was really impressed with as normal. Reina, I saw her smiling a lot, and I noticed some comments on that as well from other people, is that Reina looked like she had a lot of fun with this video. And to be honest, Reina has seemed bored of Morning Musume for a while, but from what I've been reading and what I've been hearing, that it seems like she's really starting to get into the groove and really embracing the idea of being a senpai member and really liking her work a lot more. So it's nice to see that she seems to be enjoying this a bit more. I was glad to see Aika back in the PV, however I was a little disappointed that she wasn't in the dance shot, but I am glad that she's taking it easy still so that she doesn't hurt her ankle again. I was really grateful to hear some Mizuki in there, as she has not gotten a lot of attention during her time in Morning Musume, so I was glad to hear that she got some solos. I was a little disappointed that Eripon and Zuki didn't get any lines at all, because I feel like the way that their characters are developing, that this song is perfectly suited for them, and I wish that there would have been a little bit less lines from the other members and maybe one or two for them, just so that it could balance out the song. But I appreciated the line distribution nonetheless, so I just wish that they would have gotten a little bit more in there. As far as Riho is concerned, I will say that her dancing impressed me, and I feel like she was really sharp in the dance shots. I'm going to echo a little bit what I've said before, and that's in the fact of her voice. Now, Jacob and I are going through Morning Musume's history, and we're starting at the very beginning, and he and I have both noticed that Abe really strains her voice when she sings near the very beginning, because she's singing in a range that she's not normally singing in, and so she really grunts a lot. And the way that her voice ends is really sharp and abrasive. And what I've noticed is that Riho sings a lot better when she's in a lower key. I'm not really musically inclined, nor do I know musical terms, but I feel like she sings better at a lower range, and so she is being pushed to sing in a really high range. And what I've noticed is that in lives her voice gives out a lot, because I don't think that she has the musical props to be in the high notes, and I really feel like that's why her voice sounds like chalk scraping on a blackboard sometimes, because she's singing in a vocal range that's not suited for her. And I think she would sound better if she was lower, which I would have rather have had some of the higher notes she had given to Zuki, because Zuki can handle the high notes and she can execute them well. She really executes the deeper notes better, I think Riho does. As for the dance, after seeing the Reina Sayumi version for the show that this song is going to be the intro for, I feel like the dance is really sharp and really quick, and it seems to move a lot faster than normal Generation's song debuts are, and so that interested me. And the fact that the dance is so quick and that it moves so much faster than normal debut songs are. And so I'm rather impressed by the dance, and again I feel like there were a number of members that really executed the dance perfectly. As for the dance shot, I wish that there would have been a little bit more, but I was grateful to see that Zuki and Eripon were both centers and kind of in the middle of the dance sequences. From what I could see, that they were in the middle. So I was appreciative of that. Since they didn't get lines, I'm glad to see them really prominent. As for the chicken costumes, a lot of people have been complaining about this, and I'm going to add my 2 cents in. I think it would have been funny, or it still would be funny, if whoever uploaded the video would put a little disclaimer that the color yellow was destroyed in the making of this music video, because I feel like it was such a blur of yellow that I had to watch it a few times to get my eyes adjusted to it, because it's such a sharp yellow that it really is almost blinding. However, really focusing on the outfits, I like the fact that they were, I guess, generationally separated in the aspect that Gaki has her yellow and the white stripes around it, that Reina and Sayumi both have the garters on their leg, that Aika has like that really awkward, almost like military helmet looking hat, which I feel so bad for her because she got the most hideous of all the outfits in that video. Aika got the worst one. I like that the 9th and the 10th generation got similar outfits, that they had the eyeballs up near the top. I like that they were separated, that the 9th generation got the more beret looking things and the 10th generation got more of that same Aika military helmet looking thing. However, I thought those were awkward looking in some ways. I googled the crap out of chickens because I needed to know what the symbolism was behind this. Chickens come from eggs, and there are 2 eggs in the current brand new girls, but that doesn't make sense because one of them is the 9th and one of them is the 10th, and they're really neither one of them being pushed to the front, so it doesn't make sense that they would do chickens as coming out of the eggs into a new generation. Another theory that I had, which was more confirmed by my googling, was the fact that chickens are representative of new life. They're representative of changes, of new days. Chickens come from eggs, and that represents rebirth and a regrowing of a species. Also, the rooster is seen as a symbolic character in all mythology, is that the rooster is the first creature to see the sunrise. Both of these symbolically represent something about the new generations, is that they're coming in and really changing the face of Morning Musume. And in many ways, Gaki, Sayumi, and Reina have commented on that, is that the music is changing so much because the members changed so drastically in such a short period of time. So obviously, the music style has to change. The costumes are representative of that change. And the fact that chickens are being used is representative of the fact that Morning Musume is being reborn into sort of a new light and is being born into a new generation and is going to have a new face. Whatever Morning Musume's future is going to look like is anybody's guess. However, with the fact that Gaki is graduating, there's going to be a lot of changes. Maybe better, maybe for the worse. Who knows at this point. The main point I want to push is that this music video, as well as the song, really promote the idea that Morning Musume is changing. Morning Musume has a new face and it's being reborn, and the group is being rejuvenated with new faces, with new ideas and new concepts and new sounds that haven't been heard or kind of were heard in the past. As for my opinion of the video and the song, I still will stick with my original guns that it's not my favorite. However, I don't think it's the worst. I think that it falls right in the middle of the Morning Musume singles, in the aspect that I don't necessarily love it better than all the rest of them. I don't necessarily hate it worse than the other ones. I think for me it's right in the middle, in the aspect that it's catchy enough that I think about it and I think it's a fairly decent song. However, because the generation is so young, because the sound is so immature in some ways and it isn't the sexy, cool Morning Musume that I have been used to for the last couple of years, I think in some ways that has made it more the middle ground. So my personal opinion is that this song is not my favorite, however it's not my least favorite. As for how it sounds for the current generation, I think it matches perfectly for the 10th generation. I think it matches perfectly for the 9th generation. As stated before, I wish that Zuki and Edipone would have gotten a few lines, if not one each. However, because the single is distributed fairly, I can't complain too much about that. So with all of that said, wrapping it all up, if you guys have any comments at all, please place them below. I would love to hear from you guys so that everybody else would love to read your comments, and I'll talk to you later. Peace out.